Well, hello there, sports fans. This is Red coming to you from the top of the Golden Triangle down here in the shop today. This is my first episode of what I'm going to call Welding and Wisdom Wednesdays. Not that I think I got a lot of wisdom, but you know, you got a lot of experience. You got a little bit of wisdom anyway, because you done learned a lot from all them mess-ups you done made. One thing I want to talk about is getting along at work. Let's say you start a new job, you go in there and you see, well, this is wrong and that's wrong, you need to change this, you need to change that. That ain't gonna be a good way to start. You kinda need to get in there and kinda ease yourself in there, because you can get in there and that, you might be right. That ain't got nothing to do with it. What it is everybody else is in their comfort zone. You come in there, you start making them uncomfortable, and all of a sudden you become their enemy. It could be a guy don't nobody like, but you know, he could start sitting there and feeding them information and this and that, and all of a sudden you the one that they don't like. So go in there when you start a new job, or even if you're in the one you're in, you got some things you want to change, kind of take it slow a little bit and kind of ease off into it to change, because like I said, people that done got comfortable doing it the way they're doing it, so they really don't want to change a whole lot. I know when I started a job, I moved the same company, but I went to a different place with them, and they were just getting started, but at the same time they had already reached their comfort zone. They wanted to do it the way they was figuring out and trying to learn it on themselves. Even though the way we had been doing it, we had proved to be faster than the way they were doing it. But a lot of it, I'm gonna say my fault. I went in there and got to trying to move too fast and try to get things changed, and I felt like that the quicker we can get to where we were, then the quicker we can improve that. And I was wanting to go out there and make a lot of fast, hard changes to get things done. The guys, let's put it this way, the first people hired, they went to a high school welding boutique and hired everybody who was a senior in that class and the welding instructor, and made the welding instructor the welding engineer. Didn't know anything about what was going on with the procedures and stuff. I was a quality assurance engineer where I was. So, I mean, I was well versed on all of the welding procedures and all of that. But anyway, getting off the subject, I went out there and I tried to make too many moves too fast. And that guy kind of, you know, they started kind of pushing back because they didn't want all these changes. They was doing it the way they had been doing it, and or just started doing it, and they learned how to do it, and they didn't want to learn a new way to do it. So, you know, you end up with that situation, and I kind of pushed a little too hard on it. So I'm gonna say a lot of that was my fault in exactly what I'm telling you. When you go into somewhere, go in there and kind of take it easy, and, you know, do what you can do as you can do it. And as they start building up their confidence in you and what you can do, and you easing in there, then you can start making changes. They'll be more receptive to the changes that you want to make. So, because I'm gonna tell you something, work people aren't your friends. They people you work with. Unless you, when you get off work, you and Slick Willie goes fishing or goes hunting, or on the weekend, you and him and y'all's family gets together and cooks hamburgers and does whatever. Y'all not friends. Y'all just people that you work with. You're with each other every day because you have to be to do your job. So people you work with most time ain't your friend, because you end up with something that they ain't got. You'll find out how much your friends are, because they're gonna, he got it, I want it. And it's gonna keep on, and that's just the way it is. That's a fact right there. People you work with, not your friends, they're people you work with. Plain and simple. I know that's probably going to make a lot of folks mad. Oh, we have a family environment. Yeah, right. Which, that may be true because I know brothers and sisters fight all the time. But when it comes down to it, when you gone, you gone. And that's just the way it is. But anyway, excuse me, getting back to what the point I'm trying to make is when you start a new job, or even if the job you're in, and you want to make some changes, ease those changes in there. Start saying, hey, what about doing this? Y'all think we can do this? I was at a different company one time, and they made superheat sections. And they welded all these long tubes together, and I never could figure out how long they were because they did it all in inches. I mean inches. We talking about 200 foot of tubing. They tell you in inches. Say, well, that's 12,423 and a quarter inches. Really? But anyway, that's the way they did it. They learned to do it that way. They were comfortable doing it that way. The problem I was having was they have one job on this machine and one job on this machine. They would sit there and bend all of one half, have them down here staged up, stacked up, stacked up, stacked up. You had a whole bay that you had full of pieces and parts. And to me, the simple thing would have been to do is to run the inside run on this machine, the outside run on this machine. As they come off the table, marry them, you'd cut your material handling way down. You cut all of your room way down. All of a sudden, everything's stacking up. So later on, you're not having to send guys down here to get this piece of this section, bring it down here, go get this piece of this section and bring it down here and do all of that. It was already, when you unloaded the table, you stacked it and married it to another piece and you was done. But, same thing, I hadn't learned this yet. I went about it the wrong way and saying, y'all need to do this, you need to do that, instead of, what do you think? Will that work? Why won't it work? They would say, that won't work, we can't do that, that won't work. I don't know. I never could figure out why it wouldn't work, but anyhow, they never changed it. Wasn't going to. But there again, like I said, I probably went about it the wrong way instead of, asking and what do you think and what if. I just went in and say, you need to do this, you need to do that. They did not like an outsider coming in telling them what to do. Same thing anywhere you are. If you're a new guy in there, you walk in there, even if you know, you walk in there and you need to get everybody to buy into what you're wanting to do. Then they become a part of it, and then it all marries together a lot easier, and then everybody be behind it and support it, and you'll have a lot greater chance of success about getting something done. Well, I expect that's about going to wrap up this episode. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little bit from it. And be sure to watch us next week as we try to do another Welding and Wisdom Wednesday. Y'all be careful, stay safe, go to church on Sunday. See you next time.